What's good? It's your big homie Kev from Luxury Loops. Make sure you subscribe to this video for more beat making updates. Basically, I want to talk about in this video go-to drums, like literally go-to drums. When we listen to famous, producers that have made it, right? They all have their set of go-to drums, right? Like think about the producers of history, like Pharrell. Like think of how many songs you've heard with Pharrell that he's actually used the same drums, but it gave you a different feel every time. Think of Timbaland. How many times have Timbaland used the same type of drums? Dre. How many times have Dre used the same type of drums? Scott Storch, Lex Luger, DJ Mustard. The list goes on and on and on and on. Every music producer has their own set of go-to drums. Every music producer. Like you may even have your own set of go-to drums, but like I have my own set of go-to drums. I use these go-to, these Grammy Pack drums. Now, why do I use these Grammy Pack drums? Well, because there is a kick and a snare in there that just gives me exactly what I need every time I use it. And when I play this kick and this snare from you, you've heard this kick and you've heard this snare over and over, right? Now, why do I keep using that kick and that snare? Well, first of all, because it's banging. Second of all, because no matter what type of beat I'm making, it cuts through the mix. And that's one of the most important things when it comes to, making your drums stand out in your beats. That don't mean that they have to be loud. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to turn your drums loud. Like, perfect example. I want you to listen to or look at the level of where this kick is. Solid, right? Now, even with that kick being solid, it's not even in the red. It's not even in the red, right? And it's solid. Not in the red. Now, I want you to look at the level of this next kick, which is turned all the way up. But listen to it. Turned all the way up. Now, I'm sure that's not in the red, but it's turned all the way up. And it's still not giving me that power. So the answer is never to just keep turning stuff up. The answer is to update your sounds. I was watching a video recently with a producer who actually works for Timbaland, and he was saying, one of the things that he learned from Timbaland is that producers don't update their sounds. That's the problem. He was talking about an up-and-coming producer that he had heard. He heard his beats, and he loved his beats. But every beat was kind of one-dimensional. You know what I'm saying? Like, he never updated his sounds. And, you can be in a position making beats for years and never update your sounds, thinking in your mind that you don't have to. But us as producers, we naturally want to get to another level. None of us just make beats and say, okay, I don't want to make no money with this beat. I just want to leave. I want to make this beat to put on my hard drive and I'm happy. That's it. None of us say that. We all want to take our music to the next level. Now, again, go-to drums. Go-to drums. I want you to hear this beat real quick. Now, I'm going to play this beat for you. And I want you to hear my go-to drums. That wasn't supposed to be in there. Now let me break down how I did this beat. I just want to show you some of the things that I use in this 8-bar loop and how it all came together. So again, the first thing that I did, I used the Grammy Pack drums. That's where I started, right? I had the pattern first, right? I had the pattern first. So once I found the pattern, I actually added a snap to it because I wanted something that had like that reverb effect, but without me having to add a bunch of reverb or doing anything. So this snare came with that natural reverb feel. So that's where I started, right? So after I got the kick and the snare down, which is again the most important part of your beat, the next thing that I did was I added some more percussions because I wanted to kind of move a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to swing a little bit. So I added these percussions and all of the extra little drum parts that I added. Right? Now basically what that did is that gave my kick and my snare an extra little push. And that's this little percussion loop by itself. Where's it at? I added that percussion loop and it gave my beat or my drum pattern a swing, right? It just gave it a swing. And then next, of course, I added my hi-hats. You know what I'm saying? Now, I didn't want the hi-hats to be too busy. I just wanted just a little sprinkle, right? I just wanted a little sprinkle. I didn't want them to be too busy. Then the next thing that I did was I found this guitar loop, right? I found this guitar loop and I just kind of messed with it my own. Right? And then after I found the guitar loop, I was like, okay, I like that. And so what I did was I added my bass. Right? And then I added my piano. Right? And then after that, I added, last but not least, my 808 because I wanted my 808 and my bass to work together, but I didn't. Because I couldn't really decide if I wanted an 808 or if I wanted a bass. So I kind of wanted them to work together. So when I figured out how to make them work together, and noticed that they wasn't fighting each other, I used both of them. And this is what it sounded like together. And then when everything came together, this is what it was. But again, if it wasn't for my go-to drums, which is where I started, I don't even know where this beat would have went. It wouldn't have went nowhere. So, again, if you want to get your hands on this Grammy pack and you want to have the same set of go-to drums that I got so you can freak them and do something different with them, click the link below, get your hands on this Grammy pack. It's your big homie Kev. Peace.